yeah, I feel pretty safe here in Vietnam. The Vietnamese government took some pretty decisive action early on in the COVID-19, or back then it was called the coronavirus situation, now the COVID-19 epidemic. Closed the borders off with China, put in some tough restrictions right away on arrivals, and have been doing so ever since. I've got a very vast quarantine campaign here. It could be over 30,000 people quarantined at this time. Everybody gets quarantined now that arrives in Vietnam, whether they're a foreigner, if they can still get in, or a Vietnamese national. Hi, baguette, hi. Sorry. So this is Nguyen Tri Street here in District 5. It's a very famous clothing street, shopping street. It's also home to one of the locations of ABC Bakery. So let me tell you about the story of the king of bread. So the man that runs the ABC Bakery chain here in Vietnam was recently visiting the Mekong River Delta. He saw a lot of dragon fruit that hadn't been harvested yet, particularly red flesh dragon fruit, and he asked around why. And he was told that the dragon fruit was getting held up at the border between Vietnam and China. It wasn't getting past the border because there was just a lot of restrictions right now due to the COVID-19 situation. So he thought to himself, well, what can I do to help out? So he purchased a few hundred cases of this dragon fruit, took it back to his factory, processed it, just basically made it into a smoothie, froze it, and then got together with his team and came up with a recipe for dragon fruit bread. So he got this dragon fruit bread to market, and it's just been flying off the shelves here. There was lineups up until maybe a week or two ago outside that location and other locations of ABC Bakery. And it's been a big hit. And it's a remarkable story, you know, a story of compassion, entrepreneurship, ingenuity. Pretty amazing. And this durian version of the dragon fruit bread is amazing. This is so good. Okay, now I gotta stop working for a bit and eat this. Hello. This is one of my favorite desserts here in Vietnam. Grilled banana in sticky rice, and then it's submerged in coconut pudding and maybe a few ground peanuts. Absolutely amazing. So one of the reasons why I feel that they've been more successful at containing the COVID-19 pandemic here in East Asia, places like Taiwan, South Korea, and here in Vietnam, is the fact that the culture here is more family-centric, group-centric. It's not an individualistic country or individualistic society or culture like much of the West is. So people are brought up to think of their family first. In the family situation, their actions affect the whole family, the honor, reputation, all of these things. Of course, all of these countries are extremely nationalistic as well. People are extremely proud of their country, and that helps. If their country asks them to help out and do something, they're willing to go along. So without that individualistic attitude, I think they've had more of a buy-in here on getting people to do the things that they need to do to contain this virus, staying at home more, practicing social distancing, wearing masks in public, in crowded places. All of these things, I feel, have helped the COVID-19 situation. And it's because this is a group culture or family culture. It is not necessarily an individualistic culture like you'll find in the West. When I lived in Taiwan, I used to create a lot of videos there and broadcast live streams. And a lot of people, particularly people from the West, would ask me, why are all those people wearing masks there? Are they worried they're going to get sick? And of course, my response to them was, they're not worried they're going to get sick. They have an illness. They have a flu or a cold, and they don't want to pass on their germs to other people. Thinking of the group first, not the individual. Can we all do that, please? Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you again for your support, all the feedback for the COVID Diaries here from Vietnam. If you want to help out me and the channel, I'd really appreciate that. There's no donation too small, and there's 3 different ways to donate, 3 different links in the description below. Check that out. Really appreciate your support. Thank you in advance. We're going to get through this. Peace from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam.